Hey Aries seekers, I once wrote, don't try to fix me, love me broken, and that will fix me. Because love is the glue to our fragmented pieces. Not further stepping all over it, or even forcing one piece to the other. Just love it broken, and that will fix it. There's that saying, don't fix it till it's broken. I agree. Instead, let it be broken until it is fixed. Or even just break it until it fixes. Fixed. The Sun, Queen of Swords. Harsh, cold judgment is counterintuitive to joy and warmth and connection. You can't criticize what makes you happy. Oh, the reason this is making me happy is because I'm broken inside and unhealthy. This should not be making me happy. If it's not hurting anyone else, let it make you happy. And now your wheels are turning, okay, well, what does that mean, not hurting anybody else? What if what I want to do contradicts what someone else wants to do? Or what if my needs contradict someone else's needs? Well, you're not jiving. Don't force it. Keep forcing it. Keep fixing it till it's broken. And it will just get worse and worse. The universe tells us we're not in our right place by messing shit up. And then because we're stubborn, you're stubborn too, Aries, we're going to fix it. We can make it work. We'll manifest it. We will heal it. Everything is possible, but not everything needs to be possible, and not everything needs to be healed. Sometimes the healing is to leave it alone. If something that you're trying to make happen within yourself or within your life, could be anything, just keeps getting worse and worse the more you try, listen. It's not the devil giving you tests that you're supposed to overcome and make work anyway. It's spirit telling you, hey, is this where you ought to be? Our path is always clear. When we take turns that hurt us to satisfy an egoic need to please or appease society's expectations or whoever's expectations, that's when it gets risky and dangerous. And yes, you have the free choice to do so. You came here to freely choose the best thing for you, though. You can choose the worst things for you. You can do that. But just because you can do that doesn't mean it's fate or destiny. It just means that that's what you're choosing to do. And circling back to the beginning of this conversation, don't judge. You're happy. Listen to your body. Listen to your heart. If something makes you feel constantly anxious and agitated and uncomfortable and low, don't perpetuate it because of some cognitive, idealistic sets of beliefs or sets of thinking. If this is clear in the way it makes you feel, in the way it inspires you, then follow the sun. What's with the insistence on the snow? Unless you really, really dig snow. I don't know. You can dig snow. It's okay. No judgment. See? Maybe you really love snow, but you're judging yourself like, well, everybody loves the sun. I should be loving the sun. Why do I really enjoy this cold? Something is wrong with me. I need to force myself to love being in the sun. No, you don't. If this is your system and this is what you seek now, and this is what where your path is, then it's okay. And the opposite. If you really love the sun and the warmth, don't force yourself to be somewhere cold just because, well, you need to practice resistance and push through, and you can't just give up because of the weather. Why not? Your system is the way it is for a reason. Now, please don't confuse everything I'm saying, to get you avoidant of needed change just because it's uncomfortable. I know sometimes it's confusing to understand the difference between your system enjoys being somewhere because it's part of its path versus your system tells itself that it enjoys being somewhere because it's too scared to make the change that is uncomfortable. Because if where you're at is based in fear because you're scared to make the change will impose itself on you worse. Lead it, right? There's that saying, if you don't hear it in the whisper, you'll hear it in the shout. Please hear it in the whisper, Aries. Venus and Mars are now conjunct. You're ruled by Mars. Venus is really trying to echo to you and remind you what you love, what you value, what you need. Yes, you have needs. No, you don't have to push through all your needs. You can listen to your needs. Your needs are there for a reason. There are needs that need to be met. Now, if that need is financial and you meet that financial need at the expense of the needs of your heart, hello the heart again, strength, then no, something is wrong. Okay, because that need for money at the expense of what your heart needs is not really a need. What you need is what this money represents and can give you. Maybe, obviously, actually, not just maybe, you assign money to security and safety, which it is. However, perhaps that's just how you translate the thing that can help give you safety, security. But in fact, what your system actually wants in order to feel safe and secure is love. So your system wants to feel safe and secure. The thing that can give that to your system is love. But you think, no, not love will give it to me. Money will give it to me. But your psyche wants that money to get what love ought to get to it, but you never received it from love, so you can't fathom that it's possible that love will give you safety and security. Just the love, So you assume it must be money. Now that's just an example, and it's not against money. You can love and want money. But make sure that your pursuit of anything is because you actually pursue that thing and not what it represents and can give you. And ironically enough, you actually move away from that thing. The strength card is really about knowing yourself. Because the strength card talks about the physical boundaries that we put around us that protects us and protect our energy from other energies from completely integrating and losing our sense of autonomy and self. Because we come here to this earth to have a sense of autonomy and have a sense of self and have a sense of fragmentation, so we can fully own to the so the divine could fully own to its different aspects, right? And it does so through its different aspects. You're an aspect. Right? The ocean knows itself through the movement of its waves. oh, I didn't know I really want to go there, because a wave in me is really, really driving me there. I guess that's something I wanted to explore. The divine explores itself through you. So you're here to be an autonomy. You're here to be a self with specific, unique desires, wishes. And none of them needs to be judged or ridiculed. The Strength card challenges us to know that we are a part of a greater whole, that we are unified and connected, and it's all just energy. And without the physical boundaries, we would all just collapse into each other and just be light, energy, part of Source, part of God. However, it also speaks of the necessity of those physical boundaries in order to go through this experience here. Set boundaries on yourself that are unique to you, not forced by a system outside of you. February was harsh. February aqua season was very harsh. But in a way, it pushed us into the Leo's, we're not in Leo season, we're in Aries season, and Pisces season. Sorry, this is for March, but happy early birthday to the Aries who celebrate at the end of March. But this month of March is the transition between winter and spring, a season of fire, your season. And in a way, having it be so extreme to the cold really pushes us to find our warmth. I always say the only way out is in. It's a variation to the only way out is through. The only way out of the cold is what February was. We dug ourselves deep in the cold. We were very, very stubborn. We went all the way in making ourselves, and just making it really hard on ourselves. And the system was like, at this point, it's like, okay, what are you doing to me? Enough. Now I just want the warmth. And this is what March is going to be about, getting you there. Such a recognition of the self here for you this month. 7 of Wands. Don't go once again to complicating it, to overthinking it. There's that realization with the Sun and the Strength card of what your path is and what gives you joy and what is true to you and what is birthed by your spirit. And then the universe immediately responds and gives you events, people that can align with that, but then you go and overcomplicate it. This is a warning. Once again, you'll try to defeat something, to defeat yourself, to overcome. You're not here to defeat the universe. Rather, work with it. So if it's constantly telling you something, maybe consider listening. Everyone in these cards are looking up to something, are ready for something. In the Strength card, she's welcoming it with, I'm ready, bring it on. And in the 7 of Wands, he's looking at it like he's ready to fight it. Which one is it? Maybe it's 2 different people. One is you, one is the other. the Wheel of Fortune. There's some big changes coming for you this month. It's going to feel like fate is just messing with you, bringing like these weird encounters and circumstances and opportunities. It's almost like you're like, wow, you can't write that shit. Like if I tried to write it as a book or as a show, no one, they would say it's too much. Reality overcomes imagination, right? The reality of this month for you is going to be very bizarre and interesting, and I think in a very positive, surprising manner. The only thing you can do is listen. You can't fight it. You're not expected to fight it. You're not guided to fight it. You're guided to listen. And if things break down, love it until it's fixed. Love the breakdown, not the thing that is trying to break down. Okay, if something is failing and collapsing in your life, don't be like, I love that thing, so I'm going to insist and stay loving. No, love the breakdown of the thing. Love the end. Love the failure, quote unquote. Because it's not really a failure. It's just wasn't something meant to fight for in the first place. Seasons are trying to change, Aries. And they're asking you, are you going to help us lead this change, or are you going to resist us? Because if you resist the change of the seasons, it will just drown you with it. Nine of Wands. Some of you are not going to listen to any of this advice, and you're going to just battle the universe, battle God, battle serendipity and signs. And you're going to be like, no, it's the devil's work. The devil is trying to tell me to not do something that I'm supposed to do, or to do something that I'm not supposed to do. And it's like, stop. Structured religion in an attempt to make sure that you don't stray from the path. What is that? Oh, sorry, I know what it is. Invented the devil to make sure that you're controlled. Now, there are times when it works, because many people unfortunately don't do right for the sake of doing right. They do it because they fear retaliation. A lot of people don't break the law not because they care about not hurting someone, but they just don't want the consequence of being imprisoned, right? And a lot of people don't do bad things not because they are good people, but because they're scared of God, or they're scared of karma, or they're scared of hell, or they're scared of the devil. So if you trust yourself to know right versus wrong, you don't need the illusion of the devil or the illusion of hell to do the right thing. So so forget about it, because what you're doing right now is you're just fighting God because you think it's the devil. There's no devil. Okay? Don't tell that to bad people who are scared of the devil and that's why they're not doing bad stuff. Let them fear the devil. Let them fear hell. You know? It's unfortunate that we need such notions, but you know, there's also wisdom in structured religion. Before there was a written law, before there was a justice system, people didn't hurt one another because they feared the Lord, or going to hell, or whatever. or being associated with the devil, you know. But as we progress as a society, as humanity, as individuals, as we expand our consciousness and tap into our empathy, we won't need these rules. We won't need this fear tactic to prevent us from doing harm. We won't want to cause harm. As a society, we still need those things. But you, who's listening, if you're doing good for the sake of doing good and not because you fear punishment, then give it a rest. Now, maybe this isn't you. Maybe you are in full acceptance of your transformation and your expansion now. And someone else is absolutely resistance and is like, you're like, nope. No change, no evolution, no ending, no other beginning. You're just trying to hurt me, or just trying to fight me, or just trying to... so on and so on. And you're like, it's not even me, it's just life. Life is happening to us. The wheel is turning. You think you can do this? You think you can fight this? So you or them, whoever this character is, yeah, that's what they think. You know what it reminds me of? There's this, the knot. I don't remember. Is it a Japanese or a Chinese knot? I'm not sure. I think it's a Chinese knot, where it holds your fingers, right? And the more you pull, the more you try to, the more you resist it and struggle with it, the tighter it goes. The only way to break out of it, the only way out is in. Is to surrender to it. It's like when you're caught in a current in the ocean, and if you try to swim against it, it will drown you, as opposed to if you let go and let the current take you to the side. You know, you can swim back and diagonally. Right? If this is the shore, if this here is the shore and this is the ocean, and you're really being swept in, if you try to fight against it and swim towards the shore, it will take you. However, if you just let go for a little bit, go back, and then swim a little to the side and out, then you'll be able to go to the shore. Don't fight these currents. Ace of Wands. There's a plan, there's a reason. That your instincts, the fire, the will in you, it's the wand suit, is absolutely aware of and is trying to guide you. Listen to your instincts. Your mind is telling you to fix something till it's broken. Your instincts are telling you, burn this shit down and let something else flourish. Nine of Cups, like wish fulfillment. That's what will flourish. Because when the dust is settled, rain will come and flowers will bloom. It's like it's almost like you have a genie just waiting for you to like just tell it that it can go ahead and make your wish come true. Or your wishes come true, actually. Well, are you gonna tell me what your wishes are so I can just make it happen? Or are you going to keep fighting this energy? Five of Cups. Interesting. Let me look. Hi. 1 second. Someone... Oh, this is unpleasant. Someone is really trying to hold your blessings and abundance back. It could be you, by the way. It could be you that is sabotaging yourself. However, it's someone that sees the blessings that are coming to you and the growth, and they assume that your success will be their failure or your joy will be their sadness. And instead of lifting up their energy and working on being on their path and embracing it and getting all excited over it, they're trying to hold back time. This is someone that is trying to hold back time. They're trying to stop time. They're trying to stop something from happening. They're trying to stop nature from being. They're trying to stop you from I don't know, anything, everything. And if it's you that is doing it to yourself or to someone else, I mean, if you're a cross-watcher and you feel like you're dealing with an Aries who does that, if you fight time and force something to stay stagnant and take yourself out of the loop of life, out of the wheel of life, you'll get stuck in limbo. And the way back is very, very, very difficult because it takes over you. Limbo takes over you. It's a dangerous game to play. If you're not a skilled, experienced shaman who knows how to travel between dimensions and realms and states of consciousness, and you psychologically keep yourself stuck, and then energy just kind of goes into a loop, many people don't find their way back from that. It's dangerous fate. It's a cruel fate. I wouldn't even call it fate because it's made, you know. You make it. It doesn't have to be that way. If you see this mechanism as a prison and you want to break out of it and be outside this mechanism, well, you got to learn the mechanism and you got to learn the ins and outs of this alleged prison that you see it to be, and you got to be very, very skillful and very powerful to do so, and then go outside of this world and create a new world, or be able to find other worlds to join, right? But if you just make it out to be your enemy when it's not, and you don't have the skill and power and knowledge to break out of it and find something or create something, you'll just stay floating in space. Don't insist on breaking out of this planet before you figure out the divine and tap into it. Figure out, I don't mean mentally, just tap into it energetically and frequency-wise. Which I can tell you right now, you're not. Because you're a human being on the planet. If we were indeed beyond these physical boundaries and only spirit, you would not have this physical form. You'd be either ascended or dead, or however you want to look at it. But you're here for a reason. You're here because you have physical boundaries. And if you have physical boundaries, it's because you need them. and you're working with them and you're experiencing them. So once again, none of this is diabolic. It's your attitude. It's your perception, or this person. Now, maybe it's both. Maybe it's your perception. You manifested someone who just plays out all your fears and demons that you suppress and deny. You project onto the world. You're like, oh, there's nothing within me to work on in this plane. I'm above this physical plane, right? Well, you're not, and there's light and shadow within you, as within everyone. It's not against you. Again, don't make it against you. I would say that to anyone, right? But you deny it, you suppress it, you suppress your shadows, but nothing gets held back in this existence of movement. It fights back against oppression like anyone and anything. Shadows want to be free as well. And oppressing them is what makes them shadows in the first place. Once the shadow is free and out, it's already light. Light touches it. The shadow is out, light touches it, it's no longer shadow, it's part of light. Forcing it inside keeps it in the shadow, hence keeps it shadowy. And then it festers and overcomes you, and then it manifests a reality of people who are your shadow. But you won't know that because you don't acknowledge it. Oh, it's the outside. Oh, it's the devil. The devil sent you. It's a test. You sent this. You called out for this so you could see what's inside of you. Remember, everything is a mirror. Now, don't use this to tell people who fight for themselves and fight for justice and call out bullshit to delegitimize them. It's not the same thing. This is personal interactions that I'm talking about. People in your life, your intimate connections. This is not global world events. Global world events are a product of the collective suppressed taboos, not of a single person. Fighting collective injustice, if someone fights collective injustice, don't point at them, you manifest this collective. Everyone's experiencing it. Like, it's collective. Okay? Because I notice that every time I say something, some dumbass lazy ass will come and be like, try to like deflect it in ways of delegitimizing what I teach, and it's like, oh, can you be more boring? Sorry, not you, but like what I'm referring to. And also, don't let people do that to you. If there's someone specifically in your life right now that is conniving, consider that you're conniving against yourself. Now, it doesn't take away from their fault of conniving. They need the reason that person came to your life, that person does it is because they have their issues, right? So they have their responsibility with it, and it just aligned with your experience. So, okay, universe connected. It was like magnets. But if someone is gaslighting you, think, where do you gaslight yourself? Again, it's not to take away from the responsibility. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't deal with it or get yourself as far away as possible from that person, right? But then after that, after you protect yourself first in the physical world of matter where you can get hurt, so first protect yourself, do the thing, disconnect or call out or whatever the situation requires, right? Then sit within and be like, okay, where do I gaslight myself? Where do I tell myself that I'm not feeling what I'm feeling, not thinking what I'm thinking, and not knowing what I know? Just an example. If you take gaslight as an example, it could be anything. If someone oversteps your boundaries and doesn't respect your autonomy, deal with them, set boundaries, no, but then be like, okay, where do I not respect my own boundaries? and push myself too hard and expect myself to do things that I shouldn't do. Okay. Big stuff, lots of stuff. I'm going to continue this reading, focusing on your love life. I'm going to look into you and your person of interest and how things unfold during the month of March, and we will finish up with messages from the Celtic Nordic runes. It's available below in the description box. You can find it on Vimeo for separate purchasing, and you can find it on Patreon for unlimited streaming for a monthly membership that you can cancel anytime. So please check out both options. I would love for you to join Patreon's great time. You can also find below Tarot Masterclass, Bunkai, and Karmic Shift and Liberation, which Karmic Shift and Liberation is also for unlimited streaming on Patreon. If you join Patreon, you'll have that too. Stay magic, stay true. I love you guys. I'll see you soon, and happy birthday to early Aries.